Ohio State's secondary against Clemson's passing game is obviously a big storyline for the Fiesta Bowl on December 28th, but Clemson has a really good defense, too. They lost a lot of NFL guys off their defense from a year ago. They have maybe the best defensive coordinator in the country in Brent Venables, who's been there forever and could have taken a million jobs and didn't. As we talked to these Ohio State guys on Monday, Nathan, what did we maybe learn about how this Ohio State offense is going to deal with this Brent Venables-led defense for the Tigers?
From talking to Josh Myers, for example, a guy who's, as the center, is the one that has to diagnose everything that's coming from this Clemson defense or whatever defense they play. And he seems pretty confident that they have seen enough this season to be able to recognize what another team's bringing. And he's already started watching film on Clemson, and he says, obviously, they're very good. And, yeah, they're going to bring a lot of variety from this defensive front. But it's not things they haven't seen. So it's more just a matter of sort of trusting your process and diagnosing those things as you see them. But I also think that they realize, they look back at the first half of that Wisconsin game and see some things that they did not handle very well. They didn't handle the pressure very well. Yeah, Wisconsin's bringing a lot of it, but it was almost the undoing of a Big Ten championship if they hadn't, figured some things out, started running the ball better and protected it better. And pass protection has always been this kind of thing, even as good as this offensive line has been all year, and as good as Justin Fields has been all year. The combination of them protecting the passing game better has been sort of a shadow kind of following this team a little bit all season. This is the kind of game where it could really catch up to them if they don't have a plan to stop the pressure Clemson's going to bring.
Does Clemson have dudes? I think we could list guys who used to play for Clemson. I could. Dexter Lawrence, he was famous. Does Clemson have dudes now? I'm still trying to get a read on this defense.
Yeah, they have their own specific Chase Young, and his name is Isaiah Simmons, and he's their linebacker. He was also up for some Defensive Player of the Year awards down there in Atlanta with Chase. And I understand Ohio State's gone up against the best defensive end in the country every day in practice, so they've prepared for that. But it's different when it's coming from a middle linebacker spot, and I want to see how Justin Fields handles that when, he scrambles and all of a sudden there's a middle linebacker who's a first-round NFL draft pick in front of him and not just a Big Ten linebacker where Chris Orr was great, but he's not Isaiah Simmons. So, yeah, that's their Chase Young. That's their version of that. He's dominated the ACC the same way that Chase Young has dominated the Big Ten. So I want to see how that offensive line game plans for him. I want to see how Justin Fields adjusts to him as well.
Brent Venables likes to do some exotic stuff with some pressures and things like that. As you sort of talked about, Josh Myers has to diagnose that. So does Justin Fields, and Ryan Day has to have a plan for dealing with that. I think the calm poise of Justin Fields is going to be a huge deal in this because Virginia hit them a little bit here and there, and Clemson pulled away in the ACC championship. But Virginia did some things at moments that was sort of like Virginia was like a 20% of Ohio State's offense. And it made me think, all right, well, if they can do that, I think Justin Fields can do this. It feels like their secondary is really aggressive. They fly to the ball. They come up and try to make hits on you. I feel like Ohio State's precision in their route running could really one of the things that stands out the most to me, looking at the NFL and Ohio State and just watching football in general, is just how precise these guys run their routes sometimes. Chris Olave is on it. Austin Mack is on it. KJ Hill is on it. KJ Hill will find an opening. And I feel like if they run good routes and can make one move, they can maybe bust some stuff on this defense because I think this defense is aggressive. And it's a little bit easier to be aggressive in the ACC when you're being aggressive against Wake Forest. And if you try to be that aggressive against Ohio State, and they could be that aggressive against Ohio State 3 years ago because Ohio State couldn't make you pay. JT Barrett really couldn't make you pay. I think Justin Fields can make them pay for their aggression. And I think there will be opportunities here to hit these guys a little bit and bust some stuff. Maybe. Stephen, Nathan, Doug, it's on December 28th, which is 3 days after Christmas. So we will be there in Arizona before Christmas and writing stories live from the desert. So make sure you're trying the texts at cleveland.com, reading our stories, watching our videos, and, of course, listening to Buckeye Talk. We're Nathan, Stephen, and Doug. See ya.